At 6 months pregnant, I experienced domestic violence from my husband. It had already happened 99 times. Before the Labor Day holiday, I took advantage of his business trip to go to the hospital and obtain a medical report documenting my injuries, which I then shared in the family group chat. My friends and 2 older brothers stayed up all night to find my husband and forced him to kneel before me, demanding that I decide how to handle the situation. My husband pulled out a diary, and after reading it, the 3 men I loved most began to side with him and torment me. I desperately protected my belly and eventually escaped to call 911. At the hospital, my parents cried and said they would protect me, but because of that diary, they left me with my husband. By the time I was due to give birth, my husband began constantly pressuring me until the baby was lost. After that, he sent me to a remote mountain area, where I was trapped in a makeshift shelter and gave birth to 10 children. That Christmas, with the help of my eldest son, I finally escaped. Then I set fire to the pigsty. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day I received the injury report. "Emily, this is your injury report." Hearing the staff member's voice, I instinctively touched my swollen belly, which made me believe I had truly been reborn. In my previous life, Michael and I went from campus to the altar, and he always pampered me. But after I became pregnant, he suddenly started abusing me. He always controlled himself well, causing me pain and fear, but leaving no visible marks. I couldn't report him to the police or escape. Before Labor Day, I knew he was going on a business trip, so I deliberately provoked him, which caused him to lose control and become very agitated. As soon as I received the certificate, I took a photo and posted it in the family group chat. My eldest brother immediately replied, "Michael really isn't afraid of trouble? How dare he lay a hand on you?" Second brother, "Emily, don't worry, the older brothers will stand up for you." Childhood friend John, "Emily, don't rush to call the police, wait for us to handle it." The 3 men had always competed to spoil me, and I grew up in a loving environment. I believed they would come to help me, so I obediently went home to wait. The next morning, Michael was brought back by the 3 men, his body covered in injuries. His older brother kicked him, forcing him to kneel before me. The eldest brother angrily asked Michael, "What did you tell me when you married Emily? She's now pregnant with your child. How could you hit her?" The second brother smiled as he used a tool to clamp Michael's hands. John, who is a doctor, walked over to me and gently examined the injuries on my face. He then undid my clothes and saw some scars on my body, looking fierce as he said, "Eldest brother, second brother, Michael truly deserves severe punishment." Just then, my second older brother took the torn cloth from Michael's mouth and asked slowly, "Do you have anything else to say?" Michael spat and replied, "Emily deserves what she gets. Brother John, go to my study and get the diary from the safe. Read it first. Why give him this chance?" My second older brother pressed the dagger against Michael's face. Michael shouted, "You'll regret this." "All right." Second brother went to the study to fetch the diary, while John took his place and joined first brother in restraining Michael. A few minutes later, second brother emerged with a displeased expression. I asked, "Second brother?" He threw the diary in front of the eldest brother and John. "Look at this." After saying that, he walked behind me and tightly gripped my neck with his right hand. I could barely breathe. "Second brother, what is written in Michael's diary that even the brother who loves me the most would resort to violence against me?" The eldest brother was frantic. "Daniel, what are you doing?" The second brother nervously squeezed out the words between his teeth. "Look first." I struggled desperately as my older brother opened the diary. John followed suit, and her expression shifted from confusion to shock, then to disgust. My older brother angrily threw the diary to the ground, pointing at me and shouting, "Emily, how could you do such a thing?" John, who had secretly loved me for years, looked at me with disappointment. "Emily, I'm truly disappointed in you." My second older brother didn't actually choke me to death, but he ignored me. My older brother and John did the same. After they left, Michael roughly tied me up and hit my face with the diary. Smirking, "Look who you can turn to now. You're such a woman, so frustrating." My whole body trembled. "What did you write in that diary?" Hearing this, Michael burst into laughter. His laughter made me feel uneasy. He didn't say anything, just carefully put the diary away. Michael left me hungry all day and didn't take me to the hospital until nightfall. After he left, I quickly untied the ropes and ran out. To protect my stomach, I bled as I walked. The people on the street dared not come to help, so I dialed 911 and 911. Then fainted. When I woke up, I was in a hospital room. My mother was wiping away tears as she helped me sit up. "Child, why didn't you tell your mother about all this suffering?" My father angrily said, "Michael is so irresponsible, you're carrying his child. And he beats you every day." I asked in a low voice, "Dad, Mom, was Michael arrested?" My mother tightly held my hand and said seriously, "Emily, is it really necessary to catch him? He's the father of your child. If you divorce him and go back to the village to give birth, what will the villagers say about you? Why not give him another chance? Once you're better, your father and I can move in with Michael's family and keep an eye on him." "Okay." Before I could speak, Michael entered the ward. My father rushed forward, grabbed his collar, and shouted, "You bastard, you dare come back." Michael raised an eyebrow at me, flashing a challenging smile, then pulled out a diary and handed it to my father. Soon, my father began to pant. After a moment, he grabbed the water cup and threw it at me with all his strength. "Emily, you've brought shame upon the Smith family." My mother quickly stepped in front of me. "Have you lost your mind, Smith? I'm sorry, I can't grant this request." "How can you be so repulsive?" I felt utterly hopeless. What was hidden in that diary? My parents had completely abandoned me. They agreed to let me reconcile with Michael. And the police no longer pursued the matter. After being forcibly discharged from the hospital, Michael watched me constantly, tormenting me endlessly, and eventually sold me. I took a deep breath, suppressing the hatred and pain in my heart, and obtained the medical report. Now that I have a chance to start over, I not only want to escape this situation, but also uncover the secret in the diary. This time, although I took photos of the medical report, I didn't send them to the family group chat. Instead, I sent them to a high school classmate I hadn't been in touch with for a long time, who is now a police officer. Half an hour later, I returned to Michael's house and went straight to the study. I had to get that diary. Only by figuring out Michael's weapon could I fight back. But as expected, I couldn't open the study door. I immediately called a locksmith. After he opened the door, I paid him and had him leave, then entered the study to search for the safe. After pondering for a while, I finally discovered the safe hidden behind a landscape painting. I tried all the dates related to Michael, his first love, and his parents, and finally managed to crack the code. In both worlds, he abused me after I became pregnant, which clearly proves he never loved me. I took a deep breath, suppressed the fear in my heart, and trembling, took out the yellowed diary. Just as I was about to open it, I heard a familiar voice angrily shout, "Don't move." Michael was back. I didn't want to give up like this, so I hurriedly tried to open the diary, only to find that it had a password lock. As I was trying to enter the password, Michael suddenly rushed over and snatched it away with great force. He was furious. "How did you know about this?" It seemed he hadn't been reborn. He must have installed hidden cameras in the house, especially in this study. I calmed down and came up with an excuse. "I received an anonymous text message saying you were in trouble and that I should find your diary and bring it to him, or he wouldn't let you go." "What nonsense are you talking about?" Michael's eyes were terrifying, filled with terror. I had pretended to send the text message earlier, but Michael didn't ask about it or look at it. After shouting loudly, he shoved the notebook into his coat pocket, grabbed my hair, and slammed my head against the wall corner with force. I felt dizzy and disoriented, completely unable to resist, and could only instinctively protect my stomach. I don't know how many times I was struck. My consciousness began to fade. Just then, the doorbell suddenly rang. Michael stopped immediately. He dragged me out of the study by my hair, threw me on the ground, and went to answer the door. I forced my eyes open and saw my twin brother and John. I thought to myself, I hadn't asked for help in this life, so why were they here? Suddenly, I remembered a detail I hadn't noticed before, and a chill ran down my spine. At the same time, to see what was in the diary, I contacted a locksmith and tried the safe combination for a long time. But how could my second older brother have obtained the diary and read its contents so quickly in just a few minutes? Could it be that my second older brother had been in cahoots with Michael all along? That's unlikely. My second older brother loved me the most. Michael brought the three of them into the house. John was the first to notice me, grabbed Michael by the collar, and angrily asked, "What did you do to Emily?" "I entrusted Emily to you, hoping you would take good care of her for the rest of her life." My eldest brother clenched his fists and struck Michael repeatedly in the eyes. Michael spat out blood. trembling as he pulled out his diary, speaking calmly. Read it first before saying anything. My second older brother took the diary and entered the correct password directly. Seeing this, my heart sank instantly. My second older brother showed the diary to my eldest brother and John. Within seconds, their reactions were identical to those in my previous life. The second brother suddenly asked Michael, "Why did you act against her so soon? Her child is still useful." What did the second brother mean by that? In the previous life, Michael beat me until I miscarried. What use is a miscarried child? Could it be that the second brother and Michael stole my child together? The 10 children I gave birth to in the mountains. Whether boys or girls are all trapped there. What's going on here? A wave of pain swept over me, and I struggled to hold it back while reminding myself to stay calm. Michael took the diary back, shook it, and said, "I don't know who leaked the information, but she found this and almost saw it." John suddenly realized. "Second brother, you already knew?" Second brother didn't deny it. The eldest brother angrily swung a punch at second brother. "Daniel, you're being too cruel. She's your own sister." The second brother wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, glanced at me, and said, "David, we're identical twins. If I'm this bad, how much better can you be? I'm giving you a choice now. You can take her to the hospital, or you can take the diary and report it to the police." The eldest brother likes to solve problems with his fists. If anyone bullies me, he'll beat them up, and he'll beat them up badly. I know my older brother cares about me, but I'm a bit afraid of him. Our relationship isn't that close. At that moment, I forced my eyes open and looked at my older brother with longing. "Older brother, help me," I pleaded hoarsely. My older brother's mood softened. He walked toward me. My second older brother raised his voice and said, "David, if we call the police, everyone will find out about Emily. How will our parents live? If you want to move up in the world, hand Emily over to Michael." My older brother hesitated. My second older brother grabbed my older brother's shoulders and said, "Brother, no one forced her. She should take responsibility for her own actions. I didn't do anything. I don't know what secrets are written in that notebook. I really can't explain it." Seeing that my older brother had been persuaded by my second older brother, I turned to John, who was still in shock, with a pleading look. "John, help me, you know me best. I've never done anything wrong." Michael suddenly charged at me and stomped on the wound on my forehead with his foot. Blood gushed out again, and the pain felt like my skin was being torn apart, causing me to scream in agony. Michael threatened, "Stop making a scene." My heart was still aching. I turned to look at John. His eyes flashed a hint of pity, but there was more disdain. I finally understood that they wouldn't help me at this moment. I suddenly smiled coldly and looked at Michael. "Michael, I remember." He suddenly grabbed my hair, pulled me up forcefully, and looked fierce. "Speak, what do you remember?" I seized the opportunity, quietly took the unlocked diary from his pocket, and quickly flipped through it. Finally, I saw the first page that had been tormenting me. Michael snatched the diary back, smiling, and tried to hit me with the vase beside him. "You've really disappointed me." Just then, the doorbell rang suddenly, as if urging me on. Just the first page alone was enough to make me feel utterly defeated. I couldn't imagine what else could possibly be written inside that would make me feel even worse. No wonder my parents, my twin brother, and John, who had a crush on me, were all disappointed in me after reading my diary, even abandoning me. I felt utterly hopeless. I clutched the yellowed paper tightly, too afraid to turn to the next page. Michael loosened his grip, and the vase grazed my hair before landing heavily on the back of my hand. He whispered to me, "Emily, if you don't want trouble, just behave yourself." After saying that, he turned to his older brother and said, "Go check who it is." The older brother wasn't very willing. The second brother gave the older brother a look, and the older brother grumbled as he walked to the door, peered through the peephole for a few seconds, then turned back and said, "There's a person in police uniform outside. He looks familiar, but I can't quite place him." Hearing this, I immediately felt a glimmer of hope. When I returned, I had already contacted Jason and asked him for help. The soundproofing in the house was excellent. Michael had spent a lot of money to ensure he could abuse me without being heard. This was something Michael had accidentally revealed while abusing me in my previous life. Now, even if I struggled desperately, it was hard for Jason to notice me. What should I do? I was trying to figure it out when my second older brother and John had already reached the door. John recognized Jason and spoke with a tone of displeasure. "It's Jason back in high school. Emily and he had a complicated relationship. I remember when Emily was bullied, he stood up for her and almost got disciplined. I never thought he'd become a police officer. Seeing the first page of the diary, I understood why John thought that way about me, but I couldn't accept it, didn't understand it, and wouldn't forgive him. My second older brother calmly suggested hiding Emily and making sure Jason didn't find her. My eldest brother immediately agreed with his older brother's suggestion. John didn't want anything to do with me either. Michael wanted to take it out on me the most. He quickly dragged me upstairs and hid me in a secret room in the study. That was also the place where he had tortured me in my previous life. As soon as I entered that familiar yet dark place, I felt a wave of fear wash over me, and my whole body began to tremble uncontrollably. Michael roughly pushed me into a corner chair, tied me up tightly, and stuffed a smelly towel into my mouth. After finishing these tasks, Michael turned and left. Jason was wearing a police uniform, and Michael, John, the eldest brother, and the second brother dared not underestimate him. After all, they were all highly skilled in this line of work, and working together, they might still be able to deceive Jason. I silently hoped that Jason would see the secret message I left. I don't know how long it was before the pain in my body made my expectations blurry, and my consciousness gradually faded. Suddenly, I heard familiar footsteps approaching from a distance. It was my second brother. Jason must have already left. Would he see my distress signal? With his intelligence, he should have sensed something was wrong after I sent him the medical report hours ago, begging him to come help me at my house. Just then, the door to the secret room slowly opened. Bright light flooded into the previously dim room. My second older brother stood in the doorway, part in the light and part in the darkness. With tears in my eyes, I looked at the cold-hearted man who had caused me pain for over 20 years. My second older brother seemed unable to bear it anymore. He tore off the tape and pulled the cloth out of my mouth. Ignoring the foul smell, I urgently asked, "Second older brother, why did you do this?" My second older brother furrowed his brows slightly, then stroked my right cheek with an expression that seemed both disdainful and pitying. "Didn't you see the first page? Why are you pretending not to know?" With tears in my eyes, I asked in disbelief, "Do you think I'm dirty?" He asked casually, "Don't you think you're dirty?" I grew emotional. "I'm your sister. I'm also a victim. You won't help me seek revenge, yet you call me dirty." He suddenly grabbed my chin, lifted it forcefully, and looked at me coldly. "This was your own choice." I broke free from his grip and shouted, "I didn't choose this? I really had no idea about any of this." Suddenly realizing something, I began to feel nervous. Could it be what Michael said, "Second brother, he's lying to you? Believe me, you've watched me grow up. You should know what kind of person I am. I would never do such a thing." My older brother spoke mysteriously, "Michael has evidence." "What about you?" I cried bitterly. "Evidence can be forged." "Older brother, why won't you believe me?" "You're my brother," he responded coldly. "Emily, Michael, it's all your choice. Before this happened, we all saw how much he pampered you. If you hadn't done something so disappointing to provoke him, how could he have suddenly changed so much? Can your photos be forged? Can your handwriting be imitated? I can tell you that I heard you say some pretty bad things with my own ears." "How do you explain that?" I was shocked. How could that be possible? Hearing others approaching, I immediately lowered my voice and quickly said, "Second brother, even if you don't believe me, can we let the police handle this? If it really was me who brought shame to the family, I'm willing to leave. Please don't let Michael hurt me." "Second brother, he really will hurt me." As I said this, I tried to look as helpless and miserable as possible. Before second brother could answer, big brother John and Michael had already walked over. Big brother and John looked at Michael's secret room filled with various torture devices in shock. Michael's eyes were filled with crazy excitement. I was terrified and begged, "Brother, second brother John, please take me away. Michael will kill me." Michael kicked me hard in my most sensitive area. "You worthless woman. How dare you do such a thing and still have the nerve to come home? Do you want the whole family to suffer because of you and put yourself in danger tonight with big brother, second brother, and John all present? You dared to get so close to Jason and still claim you did nothing wrong." I was too overcome with pain to speak. Tears blurred my vision. However, I could see second brother turn away first, followed by big brother. John looked at me deeply. "Emily, the biggest regret of my life is falling in love with you." He too left. Michael slowly walked into the narrow space. The turning door separated me and Michael from the normal world. After the extreme fear, I calmed down. Michael raised his hand and hit me twice. What did you remember? I spat out a mouthful of blood and looked at him defiantly. Are you feeling guilty, Michael? I don't remember any of those things. You planned this, didn't you? You're not only framing me, but also trying to put on a show in front of my older brother to frame me. Right? Michael stared at me intently, then suddenly let out a cold smile. Emily, you don't know the situation, you're just guessing. What does that matter? If no one told you, how would you have found that diary? He felt uneasy inside. I looked at him with a half smile, unwilling to answer. You won't say anything? He unbuckled his belt. I have plenty of ways to make you tell the truth. Michael has always treated me like an outsider. If I mention the rebirth again, he might really send me to some strange research institute, agree to their experiments in the name of a husband, or even have me dissected. Even if I manage to escape, I'll face countless troubles. So, no matter how cruelly he tortured me, I remained silent until I fainted. When I woke up again, I found myself still in the secret room. The smell of blood had faded significantly, as if someone had bathed me and bandaged my wounds. Perhaps it was because I had become more sensitive after rebirth, or maybe the diary on the first page had stimulated my thoughts. This time, I tried to recall, and some vague fragments emerged in my mind. There was a man in a wheelchair, strangely kissing the injured, bleeding parts of my body. Though I couldn't see his face clearly, I knew he wasn't the man from the first page. Intense nausea and fear overwhelmed me, causing me to lose my senses. I screamed in agony, Michael, you madman? What's going on here? How could you do this to me? I'm your wife. I've loved you for 7 whole years. Why are you doing this to me? Come out. There should be surveillance cameras in this room. Soon, Michael walked in with a displeased expression. Did you forget something this time? He asked suspiciously, how much medicine did you give me? I wanted to push him away, but I could only wait silently. Michael suddenly bent down, lifted my face, and looked at me with wet eyes. Emily, what are you afraid of? What I gave you to eat were all very good things. I said angrily, good things? Then why didn't you eat them? Don't you like them? His fingers gently traced my lips. He smiled and said, Emily, you're so smart. You must have figured out what you've been through these past few years. If it were anyone else, they'd be too ashamed to even move. How do you still have the strength to yell at me? His words made me furious, and I bit down hard on his finger. I used all my strength, wanting to bite it off. He cried out in pain, clenching his teeth and saying, Emily, let go. I felt so good that I squeezed even harder. However, I was trapped in the chair, and he used various methods to make me give in. Naturally, the methods he used were the most painful for me. When I released his finger, my new clothes were soaked with sweat. I angrily said, Michael, it's your fault. I won't feel ashamed. I'm going to call the police. I won't let you get away with this easily. Michael waved his hands angrily and said, Emily, you cruel woman, you actually want me to go to jail. Do you really think I'll give you that chance? After the child is born, I'll send you to a nice place. I knew very well that the nice place mentioned was actually that mountainous area that resembled a den of evil. I believe even more that in my previous life, my child didn't die but was stolen by him. My older brother knows where the child is. I asked, what do you want my child for? Michael didn't answer, just let his fingers bleed, torturing me for a few minutes before leaving the secret room to bandage himself. I returned to the endless darkness. However, I believe Jason will come to save me. A few days later, Michael rushed in, his smile looking rather terrifying. Emily, you've been up to something. Not only did you report my injuries to Jason, but you also left hints for him. These past few days, he's investigated everything I've done and now wants to send me to prison? You brought this upon yourself. I gave him a sincere smile. Michael, this is all you're doing. Michael slapped me angrily. Do you think I'll just give up and wait for him to sentence me to life in prison? I said calmly, Michael, you have no way out. That's right, I have no way out, but I can take you with me. I've already died once, so I'm not afraid. Even if I really die, it'll be even more humiliating for Michael. I said calmly, Michael, can you tell me what happened now? He poured gasoline on me, his face fierce. Are you trying to stall for time? I was coughing violently. Do I still have a chance to escape? Probably not. Michael continued to pour gasoline around us. It doesn't matter if I tell you. Emily, I never really liked you. You were just a tool for me to climb higher. Actually, Michael chased after me because his wealthy and powerful senior also liked me. After he chased me down, he tricked me into going on a trip, gave me spiked red wine, and sent me to his senior's room. Since he's skilled at mixing drugs, he specially prepared a memory-erasing drug for me. I always thought that secretly meeting him was exciting. For him, I sacrificed a lot, hoping to earn his senior's support. But his senior introduced him to others, and he kept doing the same thing. If someone didn't like me the way I was, he would find out what they liked and change me to match their preferences. Every time, he would secretly place hidden cameras in the room. The main purpose was to control those people, and secondarily to control me. All the evidence is in the diary. Because I was unconscious at the time, and he chose the angles carefully, every scene looks like I was willing and proactive. My older brother is a lawyer. A year ago, the person Michael wanted to contact was my second older brother's client. At first, Michael was afraid my second older brother would discover his secret, but later, he came up with an idea to make my second older brother witness me entering the presidential suite with the client. He also deliberately had a female voice that sounded like mine shout and scream at the door, filled with provocative words. My second older brother believed I had done something wrong and felt ashamed. Later, my second older brother began to investigate the matter thoroughly. Michael only revealed part of the truth to my second older brother, which deepened his misunderstanding of me and made him feel even more sympathetic toward Michael. Half a year ago, Michael got into trouble and threatened my second older brother with a diary, demanding his help. At that time, my second older brother told him, "This is the last time I'll help you." Without my knowledge, Michael caused me to lose my beloved second older brother. In fact, aside from my second older brother, who is more sensitive, my parents, older brother, and John all felt disappointed in me, dissatisfied, and even blamed me after seeing the contents of my diary. Eventually leaving me, Michael wanted my child because I was pregnant with the child of a wealthy and powerful client. When I was 4 months pregnant, he took me to a private hospital for a checkup. In reality, he had already arranged with a doctor beforehand to find out the baby's gender. It was a boy. He believed this child could help him achieve his goals quickly. From that day on, he planned to make me believe I had given birth to a stillborn baby, then sell me to the mountains, ensuring I could never influence his life or wealth. But all of this failed because I reported him in time, and Jason took a special interest in the case. In the face of the law and justice, Michael lost all his opportunities. Today, Jason obtained crucial evidence to arrest Michael. Michael flew into a rage and attacked me. All because of you. You and this little guy are both going to suffer. Michael kicked my stomach for the first time. That familiar pain returned, and I felt this pitiful life slipping away. But I didn't feel sad. I didn't want this child, I couldn't give him love, so I had to let him go. Now I faced an uncertain fate and couldn't protect him. Enduring the excruciating pain, I said, "Michael, you're the one who caused all this. If you hadn't been pursuing me and trying to take advantage of me, I never would have had to endure such a terrible life. Even if I had chosen John back then, he wouldn't have treated me this badly. Maybe I was lucky to have chosen Jason. I could have had a better life, at least without Michael. I could have been immersed in my parents' love and my twin brother's special attention. It was Michael who ruined everything." Michael also lost control of his emotions. "Do you think I wanted this? You're beautiful, smart, confident, and generous. How could I not like you? Of course I like you. Would I want a happy life with family support like yours? I do, but I don't have that chance. Even if I used you, I'd still face so much unfairness. If I'm good to you, I'll just end up suffering my whole life." As Michael kept complaining about the unfairness of fate, Jason walked in, Jason's gaze fixed on the lighter in Michael's hand. I teased Michael casually. "Michael, it's all because you have bad luck. Your bloodline isn't noble enough. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get what you want. If you do good deeds, maybe you'll have a chance to change your fate." Seeing Jason snatch the lighter, I sighed in relief. Michael saw the situation was bad, but refused to admit defeat. He pulled out a knife and stabbed me in the stomach with all his strength. "Die, get out of here." He repeated these words over and over, like a madman. Before losing consciousness, Jason subdued Michael. When I woke up, a week had passed. My child was gone. Michael had used me for his own gain, harming many girls and causing a tragic loss of life. As he had anticipated, he was sentenced to life imprisonment. My parents knew I was a victim, though they were disappointed in me and didn't want me to divorce and return home. They still sympathized with me and took care of me while I was unconscious. My second older brother felt deeply regretful for not believing me earlier and knelt by my hospital bed multiple times. My eldest brother regretted not being able to save me and was busy taking care of me. John still thought I was dirty and always came to the hospital with my two older brothers. The lawyer told me, when Michael locked me up that last time, my second older brother and John were also involved. I could have sued them, but I didn't. Instead, I used this to threaten them, telling them they were never allowed to contact me again. After I was discharged from the hospital, I planned to cut off all ties with my family and move to a place far away. I wanted to start a new life on my own.